Thanks everybody for joining us for Global Health Makeover Saturday morning webinar. I'm Bob Wishmeyer, and I've had the opportunity to spend a little bit of time with you this morning as well. We wanted to talk this morning a little bit about tools and resources that are available to us. And so with no further ado, that's what we're going to do starting right now. You should all be able to see my screen. I talked to Dr. Warda, Dr. Mark here a couple of minutes ago. He indicated he could see okay. Dan, are you guys, Judy, are you able to see my screen? You can see the picture of my briefcase and some of these tools here?
Yep.
Everybody see this okay? All right.
Yes, very clear.
That's where we're going to start. So what I wanted to start this morning, you know, it's extremely important as independent synergy distributors that we treat our business as a business. We talk about that all the time, and part of that is to tool up. It's an expression that one of our Canadian distributors shared with me a couple of years ago. I got a call from her, and she said, "Bob, I want to buy a bunch of brochures and CDs from you because I got to get all my people tooled up." I thought it was a neat thing to say, a fun idea and concept, and it really certainly puts into perspective the need that we have to take advantage of the resources that are at our fingertips. Now, when we initially got started with Synergy Worldwide, this would be nearly 7 years ago, I think, we didn't really have any hard copy tools of any sort to use. The first tool that I actually became aware of was right here, this No More Heart Disease. You should be able to see me circling Dr. Ignaro's book. And so the second thing that I discovered was this book here, Cardiovascular Cure by Dr. John Cook out of Stanford. Ignaro was out of UCLA and John Cook was out of Stanford. Apparently, if I got the story right, Dr. Zhao from Harvard and Dr. Ignaro were pretty good friends, and that's where some of that research began. But in any event, I had an opportunity to read these two books. And when I read No More Heart Disease, when I very first received it, I really wasn't anxious to read a book on heart disease. Believe me, I wasn't. A friend gave the book to me. It was sitting on the corner of my desk, and we just sort of reached a point there where I just felt compelled to read it. So I slipped it over in front of me, opened it up, and started reading, and I was mesmerized by the book. I just could hardly put it down. It was so interesting, well written, and it just made so much sense. And as I was reading through the book and learning, I highlighted things, I marked things, dog-eared pages, etc. And at one point, I carried that book out into our kitchen. And in our kitchen, in our home there in Montana, we had this enormous butcher block right in the center of the kitchen. It was 6-leg butcher block, really cool, 14-inch thick solid maple butcher block. And I had this book laid down on the top of the butcher block, and Bonnie and I pulled every single vitamin that we had in the cupboard out, had them spread all over that butcher block, and we were cross-referencing everything that we could with Dr. Ignaro's No More Heart Disease book and his references to these different vitamins. It was a really interesting and eye-opening experience for us. That was the beginning of our Synergy experience. We bought some Proarginine Plus. We started taking it, and then things just morphed from there. But one of the things that we discovered early on, like I said, was the need to carry with us some tools. And so this is the briefcase that I use. It's a brown leather briefcase. I love this briefcase, by the way. It's pretty, and I like brown leather, so there you go. And in that briefcase, I have a copy of John Cook's Cardiovascular Cure and, of course, No More Heart Disease. I've got Dan's CD right here. And this is a CD. This is an interview between Dan Austin and Dr. Siva Arunasalam from the High Desert Heart Institute. This is an awesome CD. I have, I think, a few of these left if anybody's interested in them. I think I have a few. This is the Discover Proarginine brochure that we've put together, and this is a newspaper that was created by Sound Concepts, and these I think are probably still available. I have a few of these still, and another brochure that I put together some years ago. But I keep these tools in my briefcase here. I also have some samples of Proarginine Plus and E9 both in my car and in my Toyota Tacoma that I drive all the time. So in both Bonnie's Volvo and my Toyota, we keep samples, and some tools. In Bonnie's car, she's got all of these in a little plastic box in the trunk. These are the tools that we hang on to all the time. Everybody in this business needs to find the kind of hard copy type tools like this that resonate with you, things that you're comfortable with. Let's take just kind of a really quick look at the Discover Pro Arginine brochure here. This is the brochure that I worked on. Dan helped me, Judy, Jean, everybody helped me put this together, Dane and I, and it even goes back a little bit farther to some other earlier distributors. But this brochure was designed so that when you have the outside of the brochure, you could actually do a presentation right off this side of the brochure. Discover Pro Arginine, some information about the Nobel Prize, and here's a little quote from John Cook, the physician's desk reference. Here's some of the awards that we've won, a little bit of information about Dr. Tripp and the Hughes Center, Forbes, all of this stuff. Here's the quote from the physician's desk reference. All of this creates a really simple way to do a presentation. If you go ahead and look at the inside of the brochure, then you see more information with regard to cardiovascular system, what an endothelium is, and of course none of us had ever heard of the endothelium or endothelial lining of a blood vessel before we got into Synergy. I certainly hadn't, and I'd never heard of nitric oxide therapy, and I don't think anyone on this call had heard of this prior to becoming involved with Synergy Worldwide and Pro Arginine Plus, perhaps with the exception of maybe Dr. Mark and Dan Hammer. But just some great information here on a very, very simple brochure. There we go, we're good now. All right, you guys, so let's take a couple of minutes and look at some other things. Let's take a look at Facebook, for example. We keep an active Facebook page. Again, we're talking about tools and resources that are at your fingertips. We have a Facebook presence as well. This is it here. And this Facebook page was created for us by Jean LaValle. And we have, it's not an extremely active Facebook page. I don't know how many people go here or not, but I think we've got about 117 people. But we try to keep things posted up here that make sense. For example, this coming Monday, Dan Higginson, the founder of Synergy Worldwide, is going to be our guest speaker on our Monday morning call. And we invite all of you, join us on that Monday morning call. It's at 7:30 a.m. Mountain Time, okay? We deal with 4 different time zones. There's really no way for us to find the perfect time, given the fact that we're across the entire country. We had to choose a time. It's 7:30 a.m. and we're on every Monday morning. And Dan Higginson, the founder of the company, is going to be our guest speaker on Monday in just a couple of days. We invite you, join us, get with your people. If you have some distributors or some customers who you're working with and are concerned about their health, this is a great opportunity to hear from Dan. So anyway, we have stuff posted up here, try to keep track of things. Yeah, just Facebook, Global Health Makeover right here. I wanted to point out another tool at our fingertips is YouTube. And thanks to Dan, we have all of these videos available under Global Health Makeover on YouTube, and all of these videos. Secret to Cardiovascular Health, for example, this is a video that I have sent to dozens and dozens of people through the years. They go on. We have, well, here we go. You can just see all of these different, here's even Team 6 information, but these are all the videos that Dan has posted up on the Global Health Makeover YouTube page. So again, just another tool for you. You can click on one of these, you can highlight the URL and paste it into an email and mail these to people. I use them all the time. Let's go now for a few minutes. I want to touch bases with regard to Synergy Worldwide, but Synergy's website is going to be having a dramatic change apparently in 2017. I don't know if that means in January or what, but let's take a look first here at the Global Health Makeover website. We put this particular website together, you guys, as a landing page for our distributors. It's a safe place to send people to. There's no conflict of interest. We don't sell any product here. You don't need to worry about anybody coming here and maybe you lose a customer or something. But it's a kind of a Facebook page for education. And you'll notice, first of all, as we get started here, we have 4 videos that you can watch right here on the homepage. And we have a lot more videos over here under resources. Here's a bunch more videos. But these are what we think are really important videos. And so they're available for you right here. And then posted up directly under, we have some articles, or I have some articles. This article, for example, this is how I started it. I wrote, I have a beautiful blonde-haired, blue-eyed grandson who has just recently been diagnosed with autism. It's been a difficult journey for my son and daughter-in-law as they've worked tirelessly with this little boy. Vitamin D Council posted this article today. I wanted to share it with our Global Health Makeover group. Perhaps this will help in some small way. And of course, I've sent the article on to my kids, and it has to do with Synergy's vitamin D. It's a remarkable article from the Vitamin D Council. So if you have friends or anyone that you know who has a child or a grandchild with autism, this is an article you're going to want to read. And this was just posted up yesterday by the Vitamin D Council. So click on Read More. We're getting a little background noise here too. Anyway, here are just some more articles. How to prevent hearing loss. This is a bunch of information with regard to nutrition. So these articles just go down to right about there. But if you want to read more articles, come up here where it says articles by category. Select a category. If you click on there and look at all the articles that we have, all the different categories that we have right here. You can come down through here and find all kinds of articles. Who was I talking to? Oh, Willa Holgate was on our Monday morning call last week. Willa is a Synergy distributor down in Texas. And Willa was saying that she comes to this website constantly. She'll find different articles in here and uses this website on a regular basis to get information. That said, you guys, I'm always looking for new articles to post up here. So if you come across an article that you really like, something that you think is important or has some value, send it to me. Send it to me and I'll go through it, and if it works, I'll get it posted up here on the Global Health Makeover website. Under announcements, this is kind of interesting. These are just little short reads, like a paragraph long, something like that. This one's about opioid addiction, the prevalence of it now in our country. It's really become a significant problem here in America. Anyway, here's that. It's just a short little read. Some of these have much longer articles attached to them, some don't. But anyway, articles by category and then announcements. We also try to keep instant recognition here with regard from Synergy blog. So anything that comes up on the Synergy blog is going to be right here the day that it gets posted up. Comes right here. So be mindful of that. Yeah, we've got a couple of really cool videos here. These are the Truth Series videos that Dan created initially. There are 2 here. The Truth about L-arginine, and then how does L-arginine plus compare to Pro-arginine plus. Really, really good information. Dan, you created these 2 videos. Do you want to add anything while we're live on the call here with regard to these 2 videos? A thought or two?
Not really, Bob. I would just suggest that people would watch them, and the main one that you would want to watch is the Truth about L-arginine, because our major competition for nitric oxide production is the companies that use the nitrite pathway for the creation of nitric oxide, Dr. Nathan Bryant and other people like that. And part of their marketing strategy is telling people that if you're over the age of 40, L-arginine is not good for you. And that's absolutely not true. And this video called The Truth About L-arginine, one, will help you understand why that statement by Dr. Nathan Bryant is not true. But also, if you get other people who are consumers or distributors that come across that type of information, just share this video with them. that video will completely help them understand that with Dr. Nathan Bryant and other people like him trying to sell their products by dishing or discounting L-arginine is just absolutely not true. This video will help you, and I can tell you from personal experience that people who have sent me that type of information from Dr. Nathan Bryant or other companies, once they've seen this video, they're sold on Progen Plus or sold on the continuous use of Progen Plus. So I guess I had a few more things to say than just nothing.
Well, yeah, absolutely, because there's such value to the videos, and you've done such a great job with them, Dan, truly. You know, that whole concept of L-arginine not working if you're over the age of 40, it's just absolutely ridiculous. You look at the High Desert Heart Institute studies. I've been to the High Desert Heart Institute myself. I've gone down there and been on a tour with Dan Austin and Dr. Siva. It's a remarkable facility down there. And the clinical studies they did there were phenomenal. They just were. That product, our product with L-arginine and Pro-arginine Plus product for nitric oxide therapy simply works. And it's done a tremendous job for people and helping people with a variety of problems, not just heart problems, but other things as well. I think all of us have had that personal experience, and then we have friends and customers and family members, etc., who have really benefited from these Pro-arginines. So, and not very many of us on this call are under 40. Of course, maybe I don't know some of the people on this call. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but I am definitely more than 40, and it works for me. And so does the E9. Thanks, Dan, for the E9 reminder this morning. It's working already. Just a couple of other things. Of course, we keep a calendar here on the site. This is just to keep everybody up to speed on what's going on, you know, in our Synergy world. If there's any kind of a conference call, the conference call. See, like here, for example, if I hover my arrow on this morning conference call, I'll find out what that's all about. Anyway, it's just, I've got everything set up right here. Next week, we're going to be talking about setting goals. There'll be no webinar on the 24th. Then we're going to talk about creating simple videos on the 31st. David Munoz is going to be hosting this, but all of this information is right here on the calendar, okay? We have Team 6 training information here as well. We don't currently have any Team 6 training happening. Janice Smith and I have been team teaching the Team 6 training. It's a program that Dan and Jean created a couple of years ago, and Janice and I have hosted it many, many times. In fact, Dr. Mark Ward is on with us this morning. Mark has been on our Team 6 training a number of different times. I know that Jean and Judy, Tammy, have been hosting these Team 6 training programs as well. It's a great training program. So if any of you are interested, let us know. We don't right now. Currently, none of us have a Team 6 group going, but we're tickled to death to do it. What we do is we send out an email each week. In that email, there will be a reading assignment, a video to watch, and then we have a call once a week. It only lasts about 30 minutes. It's a short phone call, and Janice and I do ours on a Tuesday night, and we have about a 30-minute phone call. We discuss things. We help people with things, but the Team 6 training information is right here. So if you hover your arrow on, for example, week 1, your what and your why, and click on that, it'll open up and it will give you the information for week 1. It includes a video of Simon Sinek, a very good video. And for those of you on the webinar with me this morning, if you're not familiar with Simon Sinek, you should become familiar with him. He has a wonderful book, Begin with Why. Excellent book. I've read through it a couple of different times. Highly recommend it. And a video, one of his videos, of a presentation that he has done is right listed under this. All you have to do is click on here. We talk about the key goals of our business, to acquire customers, to increase our N factor or our skill level, and of course to find business builders. Key goals, important key goals to keep in mind. We talk about developing testimonials and elevator speeches, how to talk to people. That can be very challenging for us. Figuring out when someone says to you, well, what do you do for a living? And then you stand there with your tongue in your mouth and not sure just exactly how to go forward with that question. And so we talk about that kinds of things, the basics of customer acquisition and finding business builders, the art of asking questions. These are all really important subjects, and we spend some time, watch videos, and talk about all of these things, how to follow up or follow through for success, and funneling your way to success, which, by the way, you guys, is a really interesting concept. Back in the day, we used to have like a name box or something where we would toss a name or a business card into a little box and try to keep track of people that way, which works. But the whole concept of a funnel, where a name goes inside of a funnel, and that funnel, as it goes down, you know, those people eventually, as time goes by, actually become advocates for your business. It's just a cool concept. So if you haven't had a chance, you can take a look at it here, or if you want, we would be more than happy to put together a Team 6 training program with you involved in the group. We try to hold it to about 6 people. And of course, this very, very important concept of branding yourself within the business. All of this information is available right here on the Global Health Makeover website, Team 6 Training. Under our resource tab, there are a number of things that we want to bring to your attention this morning too. We are talking about tools. We're talking about not only brochures and books and things of that nature, but other resources that are at your fingertips as well. This is the Cardio Wellness Library, and again, these are all Dan Hammer's videos. What I normally do, if I want to send someone a video off of this page, I'll come up here and I'll simply highlight the whole URL. I'll just come up and right-click, I'll highlight this, right-click it, and copy. Then all I have to do when I'm sending out an email to a friend is put it in as a link in my email, and they'll see this same page. And what I do at that juncture is I give them a little bit of a tour of, you know, I'll type in my email, a little tour of this particular page. For example, I may say to them, you know, I want you to watch The Secret to Cardiovascular Health first. Take a few minutes and watch this video, and then as time allows, take a look at the other videos. And it depends on why the individual is interested in Pro-Arginine Plus, or what we have to do. I might want to talk to them about wound healing. Perhaps I have a friend who's diabetic and is having a hard time with their feet, or wound healing. I mean, it's a big deal. At the High Desert Heart Institute, one of the significant notes that they took was the enhanced wound healing process with their patients that were in the clinical studies. You know, when you're diabetic and the blood flows down to nothing, it's really hard when you have an injury for it to heal up. And of course, with nitric oxide therapy, that wound healing process is really enhanced. And so I may talk about that. It just depends on who I'm talking to. But these things are all right there at your fingertips. Again, you can just copy and paste that and send that to your friends, your family, or anybody. We keep our conference calls archived here as well, you guys. This was last Monday with Willa Holgate. Jean LaValle was our guest speaker previous week, and Judy Feldhausen was the week before that. Here's Dr. Ken Rochelle. If you didn't have a chance to hear Dr. Rochelle, here you go, Dr. Ken Rochelle. Jake Rothbell's from corporate, Aaron McCain from corporate. All of these are highlighted here under conference calls. Click on them. I have a friend who, when she gets ready for work in the morning, she comes to this page, and she'll click on the one of these calls and listen to the previous week's calls while she's getting ready that morning. Dane, when he's at home, he has a little room that he works out, and he'll get on his treadmill or his bike or whatever in there, and he puts in CDs and listens to CDs while he's working out. Just a great way, you guys, to stay on top of things. Judy talks about how her car is her mobile university, and I think Jeff Olson in the Slight Edge book talks about that, how you take advantage of the resource tools at your fingertips when you're in your car. Instead of just driving along and doing nothing or listening to the news or music or something, pop in a CD that has some value to it and learn. Make that car be part of your mobile university. A couple of other things here. This new distributor orientation checklist. always important that we remember that when we sponsor someone into Synergy Worldwide, if we're their sponsor, it's incumbent upon us to help them to learn the things they need to know in order to move forward. And this particular new distributor orientation checklist here consists of videos, etc. All of these different videos are available here. The very, very first new distributor orientation checklist that we created several years ago was simply a piece of paper. It was a colorful document, and it had a checklist. It was the kind of thing that you could put on your refrigerator. And I made a lot of them back in the day, and they were just odds and ends that you could just kind of check off as you went along. You're a brand new Synergy distributor. What have I done? What do I need to do? And you could have that on your refrigerator and check it off as you went down through it. It was a pretty simplified way to do it, but that was 7 years ago. We weren't making videos or anything else. Dan has put together this great PDF here, and again, here's your checklist. Build your infrastructure. It only makes sense, and here are little videos for you to watch. Business cards. How important is a business card? I keep them in my wallet. I keep them in my truck. I'm always handing somebody a business card. I was down in Texas just a few days ago. I handed out some business cards while I was down in Texas. Website options, and this is probably going to change, you guys. It sounds like Synergy is going to have a website for all of us to use. We don't have to look around for websites anymore. Here's some information on the back office. It's a bit, some of these are a little bit antiquated. To tell you the truth, Synergy Essentials, my Synergy Essentials videos, I don't use them anymore. There was a time when I did, but not so much anymore. You want to understand your back office now, there are better ways to get to that information. We'll talk about it in a second, but anyway, but we have this in here anyway. 3 tracking centers versus 1 tracking center, just more information for you as you're getting started, setting up your auto ship, some information with regard to setting up your business, keeping a separate business account from your personal account. I have the same thing. I've got 2 different checking accounts, one for business, one for personal. I keep track of receipts. I hope you guys are all doing that too. By the way, while we're looking at this, be sure to keep track of receipts. It's interesting when you talk to a tax accountant or bookkeepers, mostly tax people, I think. When I mentioned to my bookkeeper, my tax accountant, that I was going to be creating a home-based business, the first thing she said to me was, "Oh, good, I can find you a lot of depreciations, a lot of tax breaks." And she has through the years. I bought a big screen TV, great big honking TV, a couple of years ago, and I said, "Hey, Lori, what about this?" She says, "Are you showing your DVDs on that TV for your customers?" I said, "I am." She goes, "Tax write-off." My auto ship, for example, in order for you to receive all of the financial incentives, etc., with Synergy Worldwide, you have to have an auto ship. So that auto ship is a business-related expense, and it's tax deductible. It's interesting. Keep track of your receipts. I went down to Texas, flew down to Texas. I did business when I was in Texas. I did a bunch of business while I was down there. That flight is going to be tax deductible. I keep track of all that kind of stuff. If I'm out for dinner, out to lunch with someone, and we're talking Synergy Worldwide, we're talking about products, etc., I keep track of those receipts. I make a note of them. Tax deductible. You know, things for your office, paper for your computer, you know, business cards, all of that kind of stuff. Even, you know, mileage, those kinds of things. So pay attention and treat your business as a business and take advantage of the tax advantages of having a home-based business. Anyway, you can go on through this, developing marketing strategy, understanding sponsoring placement. You guys, especially if you're newer in this business, this is hugely important. When I started with Synergy years ago, I didn't know anything about proper sponsoring and placement, but it is extremely important. If you've got people who just want to get product, make them a preferred customer, they'll still get the wholesale prices on product, but you'll make a 25% elite rebate on the purchases that they make. If instead you decide to sponsor them into the business, you're going to get 7% approximately of their basic commissions. And a 25% rebate is a lot more money than 7% of their basic commissions. So be mindful of that. And when you talk to people about Synergy products, find out, do they want to just be a good customer and use the product, or do they want to build a business? And if they want to build a business, you want to sponsor them accordingly, put them in the proper place in your downline matrix, and that placement is extremely important as well, trying to keep your legs balanced, etc. Well, we'll go through that here. And you can let these videos do the heavy lifting for you. You don't have to know everything there is to know about your Synergy business to get moving. You don't. You know enough already. And let these videos and the websites and the conference calls, let all of those things do this heavy lifting for you. How to fill out forms, understanding the comp plan and policies and procedure, that kind of thing. Now, and since I'm here now, I want to make a couple of notes. With regard to the compensation plan, every business has its own language. There's a lexicon to every company, every business. There just is. So you need to learn that. You need to understand the terminology. What's a dual linear mega match? You know, what is that? So if you will, print a copy of the Synergy compensation plan, or at least download it on your computer and read through it. I was looking for something a couple of days ago. I had forgotten. I couldn't remember clearly how something worked, and so I went right back into my the Mega Match compensation plan. I have it in my computer. I just went to the table of contents, found what I was looking for, went to that page, and got the information that I needed. You need to do that. You know, it's incumbent upon you as an independent Synergy distributor to know and to understand the comp plan. And then you can help others with it. The other thing is the policies and procedure manual. You need to become familiar with this as well. In fact, it's interesting, when you open up the policy and procedure handbook here, or the manual, you'll see that you're advised that when you sponsor someone new into Synergy, you're supposed to introduce them to this manual. I don't know if you're aware of that or not, but that's a part of it. I print them off and give them as a printed copy usually to people. But I like paper products. So anyway, just on and on here on this new distributor orientation checklist. Come back, take some time, and go through it. It's a great resource for all of us. Kind of moving along here, product fact sheets. I think this is important too. We often are looking for specifics. I bought some detox a few days ago. My wife Bonnie said, well, just exactly what is detox? What's involved there? How does that work? How much do you take? What's in it, etc. I'd done a cleanse before I went on this trip, and then I wanted to do some maintenance, and so I bought some detox. And for example, here is the fact sheet on it, just like that. And we have all of these different fact sheets. Let me see here. Now, how do I get out of here without... This is where I have a problem, you guys. Shrink my controls. X out of here. There we go. Oh, crud. I'm not really good with this computer. If you guys want to laugh at me, go right ahead. Product fact sheets. Anyway, they're all right here. Okay? And you can find those product fact sheets right here under our resource tab, product fact sheets. Okay? Resource tools, roadmap to team leader. Again, this is some of Dan's remarkable work, this roadmap to team leader. The whole concept here is to help us to improve. We've been really blessed, you guys, with this concept of being elite honors qualified. That has been, for me, one of the best things that Synergy's ever done. It can be very challenging to make pin level advancements in the company. You can get through star pretty quickly, but boy, you start getting up to team leader, team manager, it can really be, that's a big jump. But here's a roadmap for moving forward. But being Elite Honors qualified is really key to all of this. Really been blessed. I've been Elite Honors qualified for, I don't know, 11 or 12 months in a row now at this juncture. You know, you got your 650 up, 150 down, or the 800 alternative. I think you're all pretty much familiar with those numbers. But it has really been helpful to me. I take a look at my back office probably 2 or 3 times a week, maybe even almost every day. I look at my back office to see where I'm at with things. I keep track of that. And I was blessed, for example, in November, on the second day of November, I had already met my qualification to be Elite Honors qualified. That's the first time that it happened. We're into December now. Today's the 10th. I'm not quite there yet, but I'll make it this month as well. But it's just a great goal. But onto this roadmap to team leader, again, here's your starting point. Core videos for you to look at. Come back when you have time. You don't have to swallow the whole thing at once. Come back as you have time and opportunity and go through these different videos, okay? And that's what this is all about. You can come here whenever it's convenient for you to come here and take advantage of these tools as well. Under videos, you'll see we're constantly posting up new videos. Dan, here's the truth about L-citrulline, Elite Health, and microbiome. These are just some very, very interesting newer videos that we have posted up here. Some product information videos right here. Liquid chlorophyll. I hope you're all using liquid chlorophyll. You know, Dan, I don't know if you can give too much liquid chlorophyll or not. I know you used a couple of tablespoons. I use it every day. I love that stuff. It's the most refreshing drink. It tastes like mint. In fact, Jake Rothels from Synergy was telling me that when he does his protein drink or his Slim Smart shake in the mornings, if he's going to do chocolate, he adds some liquid chlorophyll to it, which has a minty flavor, and so his protein drink tastes like chocolate mint, which is a wonderful flavor, and I've been doing that as well ever since he told me about that. I really like it. I'll probably make one up here in just a few minutes, and so it's, anyway, I just really like that. But here's some stuff on business building, some educational videos, etc. So again, all of these things are on a resource tab under videos. We have a few video testimonials in here as well, not a ton of them, but we have some, and you can see those coming up. Some of these are a little old, a little bit antiquated perhaps, but the thought is there. This is the best one of all right here. This is me. Look at that. It's 6 minutes long. You know, this was a few years ago, and we didn't realize that probably had to have them a little shorter, like 1 minute and 45 seconds, not 6 minutes. But it's all fun. It's all good, and really, this is our Global Health Makeover website. We enjoy it. I hope it's helpful for you guys as well. A lot of information here. Again, if you come across an article that you'd like to see posted on this website, send it to me, and I will be tickled to death to post it up here on our website. Now, again, as I mentioned before, and I need to be buttoning this up, we've gone a little longer than I anticipated. This, of course, is Synergy's website, and we are independent Synergy distributors, and as such, it really is incumbent upon all of us to become familiar with their website. Very, very important. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time here now, today, because this website next month probably is going to be changing. At least it is in 2017. So what I'm saying to you is, take some time. All you have to do is hover your arrow on company and look at the drop-down window. You can go in, take a moment, and look through all of these things, products, and again, frequently asked questions. And I think maybe we'll just click on this really quickly. This is an important little page right here for you to be mindful of. Under the frequently asked questions, there'll be different categories. If you look at the Pro Arginine Plus category, for example, and click on it, it's going to open up a whole list of frequently asked questions with regard to Pro Arginine Plus. You know, sometimes let's see, that didn't open up for me. There we go. Sometimes we tend to maybe overwork our sponsor. I call it abusing our sponsor. That's probably the wrong term. You know, we should take advantage of and ask our sponsors questions. But we can find a lot of answers right here. I guess that's where I'm trying to go with this. Should I drink Pro-Arginine with or without food? And look at this. For maximum benefit, take it on empty stomach. Quick and easy, right? Cold or hot water? Best with cold water. You can go on and on. I mean, these are straightforward questions, straightforward answers, all under the frequently asked questions. So again, that comes up under products and just all kinds of information. The opportunities with Synergy Worldwide are here as well. And again, great things, great resources. The forms and resources tab, I'll just show you that quickly because we talked about, let me come down here to the United States. You can click on the global downloads too. But with regard to this, that print, you can print the compensation plan is right here, and policies and procedure right here. So you can click on these, and you can download them and print them and have those at your fingertips. Look at all of the different forms that are available. All of this comes up under the opportunity. And so, again, I want to kind of button this up for now. I've spent a little bit longer than I anticipated. What about questions? Have I covered pretty much everything, or are there some questions this morning? You're welcome to type them into the chat box or unmute your phone and fire away.
Just thanks, Bob, for going through this as always.
That's exactly right. Judy laughs at me more than anyone else, though.
My laugh button's broken today. I can't find it on my computer.
Yeah, well, you're certainly welcome, and I don't want to be redundant. You know. Yeah, keep looking, sister. You'll find it. That's awesome. Well, thanks everybody again for joining me this morning. I enjoy doing this, and again, I know that some of the stuff this is a bit redundant. I know that, but we need to learn these things so that we can teach these to the people we sponsor, and an overview never hurts a thing. So. Anyway, thanks you guys for joining me. A reminder, Monday morning we have Dan Higginson on the call, 7:30 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. That's 641-715-3670. The access code is 763-468#. I sent out a constant contact newsletter on that yesterday, so you should have that in your inbox if you don't let me know. Dan Higginson, founder of Synergy Worldwide. It's going to be great. Next Saturday, Gene and Dan are going to be talking about the importance of goal setting. Of course, the 24th, there'll be no webinar. And then on the 31st, the last Saturday of the month, David Munoz is going to talk to us about creating simple videos. It's going to be great, just great. So join us again next week. Try to get on the call Monday morning. Thanks, everybody. God bless, and we'll see you all again before you know it. Bye-bye.